Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. We're going to wrap up today with a special selection, which is where one of you tell me exactly what it is I need to check out. Today's special selection comes at us from Bratislav, Van Morrison, Youth of 1000 Summers. All right, let's dive into this one. We checked out Van Morrison a while ago, a few months at least. Pretty recently, though. It's all very confusing. It was recently, but a while ago. Anyways, let's dive into this, see what's going on with Youth of 1000 Summers. Yeah, loving these vibes right here.
Watch it. He's the youth of 1,000 summers. He's the youth of 1,000 summers. Like a sweet bird of youth, like a sweet bird of youth. In my soul, in my soul, in my soul. In my soul.
The offbeat claps really driving this forward.
And it looks so radiant, and it shines like the sun. And it looks so radiant, and it
Bass kick and hi-hats, all we're getting from the drums, very light, keeping this energy going. The trumpet just brings this really nice brightness to it. It's really light, casual soloing right here. Nothing too intricate or complex, working well within the vibes of the music. Really interesting articulation on that.
Skipping and he makes you go dancing and he gets you in rhythm and he moves you in song. He's the youth of 1,000 summers. He's the youth of 1,000 summers. Like a sweet bird of youth, like a sweet bird of youth. In my soul, in my soul, in my soul. In my soul, in my soul, in my soul. In my soul, in my soul, in my soul. Oh, my soul, in my soul, in my soul. And a sweet in my soul, in my soul. In my soul, in my soul, in my soul.
Really interesting variation here. I kind of figured we were going to come back up, but now we're just going to do this nice natural fade out. Yeah, I mean, that's just a solid, chill jam right there. We got the organ, we got the trumpet, we got the guitar, vocals, background vocals, bass, drums, all of it just really existing to create this levity. It's a song that's bouncy, it's very light on its feet. The chords and note intervals that are existing here are designed to create a positivity. All of it is just very bright. There's no weight, there's no anxiety, there's no tension. It is just fun music. A lot of that comes through in the way that he accentuates his melody lines on the vocals. There's a lot of these accented hits on the offbeat, which are complemented by the offbeat claps that we get later on. And it keeps this sort of bounciness. We kind of hear some of this in the organ as well. And it keeps the song pushing forward with this energy that keeps it off of the downbeats. It doesn't have the weightiness of these emphasized downbeat strikes. It's all very light, crisp, staccato offbeat hits, which creates this bounciness, and it's just a very light vibe. Um, and this is paired with stuff like the trumpet, with those really light staccato, ba da ba ba ba, those little ornamental ideas that sit outside uh, the main stuff that's going on, the foundation and the melody. Um, and it provides a very bright tone against everything else, which is very warm and earthy. And this brings a bright sound to complement the rest of the timbres going on here. And, this type of music is always going to remind me of the beach. It's going to remind me of the sand and the waves and the sun. And particularly here, the trumpet is the sun to me. And, part of that might be my bias as a trumpet player, being the center instrument of a band, the most important, of course. I might be putting a little bit of my bias into the importance of the trumpet here in this track, but it is. Jokes aside, it is the one instrument that's a bit brighter and punches through everything else. And even range-wise, it's a bit higher than most of the other things. It presents this brightness against everything else. But I did mention that the other instruments kind of have a warmer, earthy tone to them, and I stand by that actually. Now that I say it, I'm like, yeah, it kind of fits with the idea of the beach, right? Um, I also really dig the background vocals. They only appear every so often, and eventually towards the end, we actually get them as the main line, and the primary vocalist kind of goes towards some vocalization ideas. I enjoyed this. It creates this fun, feel good jam thing going on where we just kind of hear the main vocals just start making sounds, some vocalizations. They got some ahs and some oohs in there, um, and just kind of having a good time, having fun with it. It's a song that doesn't feel so serious, and part of that, aside from just a lot of the light energy, bright sounds, and positive vibes, comes from the simplicity of it as well. Pretty much everything in here is either foundation, rhythm, melody, or our few ornamental trumpet ideas. There is no doubling up of concepts. We don't have dual melodies going on. We don't have polymeter. Um, as far as melody goes, the vocal gets it. Everything else is supplementing the vocals or supporting them. And so it's a simple song with an easy to understand vibe. They sound like they're having fun performing it. And like I said, it all just kind of comes through as a very fun jam. There was one thing I wanted to bring up in particular. Oh, yeah, the ending. What's going on with this ending? I'm curious about it. The whole song is about, from the few lines I picked up, this person or entity that exudes summer, right? They have the youth of 1,000 summers, and they can make you dance and sing or something that was in the bridge. Um, but then we just shh, shh, shh. He starts hushing the band, and they start playing quieter and quieter. And I kind of like this idea of this natural fade out. It's not dragging a volume dial in a workstation or manipulating volume dials on tape. It's literally them just playing quieter and quieter and quieter. but it has to be more than that. And I don't know what in particular the aim of this was. It's a neat effect, and I think it's cool being diegetic as well, and that means that it's supported by the art. Um, it's not just an external fade out, which is something a producer would do. We literally have somebody hushing the band as they get quieter. It's a part of the song. It needs to be read in the same context as everything else. I don't know. I'm gonna err on the side that's probably just an artistic thing. It was a cool little idea. What if we brought the band down? What if we kept playing what we were playing but get quieter? Yeah, let's just toss it in this song. I don't know that I'm reading any aspect of it that is supportive of the song that adds to it in any way. I think it's just a really cool idea to wrap the song up on. Um, there is the organ solo, which I gotta touch on. To me, it was one of the highlights here. The vocals dip out, the lead gets given to the organ, and we get this really nice solo. Here's what I love about it. It is no frills. It is simple. There are some sections where he just picks three notes and plays them over and over and over, sometimes in the same pattern of rhythm and sometimes in slightly different patterns. Not really changing it up too much. It is a simple jam, and we're not here for complexity. We're not here for crazy showcases of musicianship. The organ player, you can just feel it is a very light solo, just comes through very light taps on the keys, and just playing whatever comes to mind, regardless of if it's, intricately interesting or if it has any deeper meaning. Maybe they reached in and really pulled out some complex performance that feels great. No, it's literally just I like these three keys right now. Let me dance on them for a little bit. And it has that same laid back vibe that the rest of the music does. This is 100% writing melodies in real time in this case, since I'm going to assume this is a solo done improv. Maybe it's not. Um, but knowing that the song calls for this light, casual vibe, not to make the solo here too complex, to keep it light and casual. And it sounds great through that. The simplicity of the song means that I don't really have a lot to lean into here as far as theoretical analysis. This is pretty much going to be the end of it. I'm going to look at some lyrics and then we're going to wrap this video up. It's going to be a bit on the shorter side. But the end result is a track that knows what it is, sets out to accomplish a specific goal, and does it in spades. It is a very fun, enjoyable track to listen to. I'm sure it's a fun, enjoyable track to play, and if there's any footage of this band, I'm sure they all have smiles on their faces while doing this. I'm speaking from experience as I have played stuff like this, and it is just a blast to be in, especially if there's really strong chemistry within the musicians, within the band itself. It can just be a moment to let go. You're not trying to play the best solo, you're not trying to put on the best performance of your life. You just have some nice music. You're probably moving your body too as well. It's really difficult to sit still to this, and people are probably dancing to it and enjoying their time listening to you. It is just a nice, fun, casual jam. And I dig that. Let's hit some lyrics. Alright, so the lyrics here are not complex at all. In fact, there's a lot more repetition than I remembered. Our chorus we hear four times. The chorus is comprised of three lines that are doubled up. We hear each of them twice. And the outro is a very extended chorus. The chorus idea: he's the youth of 1,000 summers, like a sweet bird of youth, in my soul, in my soul, in my soul. We hear over and over and over again. And it describes somebody who is just exuding brightness. So much so that the whatever the youth means to this person. And we kind of see some of that. He looks radiant, he shines in the sun, he lights up the world. He's the king of the mountain, a crystal clear fountain, saint of rivers, ancient of days. He makes you go skipping, go dancing, makes you get in the rhythm and move to song. It speaks about somebody who just has this youthful exuberance, this energy and positive vibe of the world that's not scarred by any sort of pessimism, any sort of negativity based on an understanding of how the world kind of works and letting the world bring you down. There still has some of that youthful innocence to them. And it is transferred to our vocalist, our singer, the narrator, whatever you want to call it, just through being around them. Their positivity is infectious, basically. And he says, he's a sweet bird, and I feel this in my soul. All of his positive vibes that he puts out, I can feel. And the music marries this very well by having just a song that is infectious to listen to. Like I mentioned, you can't not move your body to this, and it just feels good musically. Lots of positive vibes in here. It perfectly encapsulates the description of this person who exudes the youth of 1,000 summers. Um, Something I missed was, well, I kind of touched on a little bit, was the vocalizations. There's a lot of yeah, ohs. What was another one? Maybe it was just that. Yeah, lots of yeahs in here. Yeah, love it. Yeah, love it. All right, in my soul. Oh, in my soul. Yeah, in my soul. All those little vocalizations that um, help add to, or kind of give more of a personal feeling to the lyrics rather than just singing them straight out. You can feel that he's really being moved by what he's saying, and he gets all these little personal inflections within them. Yeah, I mean, I dig it. It's a good song. There's a good synergy between theme, lyric, and music, and it just feels good to listen to. It's good beach vibes all the time. So, those are my thoughts on Van Morrison's Youth of 1,000 Summers. Let me know what you thought of this track. Down in the comments, let me know if you enjoyed it, if you have different opinion, different perspective on it, anything you want. Throw that stuff down there in the comment section. Above that, in the description box, you'll find a link to Linktree. It takes you here. You can find my music, ways to support the channel, a link to the Discord server, and so much more. Above that, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I greatly appreciate all three of those. That wraps it up for today. We'll be back tomorrow, continuing on with this week's theme and checking out another special selection. Until next time, remember to be critical, not cynical, of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.